And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda, and I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design and beard and skincare alchemy. We are a host of content champions, and our hope and desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way is sitting down with those designers to play those games. Usually we have the designer GMing, but not today. Kirby's just riding along with us. Kirby, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about Guild.
Hello, my name is Kirby. I use they, them pronouns. I have been writing games for a little while now. And this is kind of Guild is kind of my, I guess, I don't know what the word is, love letter to RPGs. Not love letter, but there's a word for it.
It's a sexual,
a very sexual game. Yeah. No, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest, but it's kind of like everything that I've wanted in a game. I'm trying to put into this. I love OSR, so rules light, simple. The game is what else am I supposed to say, Tony? I don't know.
That's it. And where can they find it if they want to support it?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's on Kickstarter. That's the important part.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's on Kickstarter. Bit.ly. Oh no, look at that, Tony.
TTRPG.link /GuildKs should take you right to it.
There it is. Yeah.
I actually, one of my favorite things about it, we were talking about it before you got on. I do love some of the thematic things you lean into with the job, the posting, and the conceit that the guild itself exists and is kind of what things are built up around. Yeah, it's super fun. I'm very excited to explore it with a couple other folks. One of whom is one of my ride or dies for the last year. And that's Marcus Linderum, designer, creator of Down We Go, which some people got physical copies of this week at PAX. If you backed it on Kickstarter, it's because the covers on those physicals that we got ahead of time were not correct, and so we sold them there. You will get a fully corrected one in a couple of weeks shipped to you. But Marcus, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Like you said, I'm Marcus. I'm from Sweden, the west coast of Sweden. The best coast of Sweden. And I've been into RPGs all my life, ever since I was a kid. And I've always been writing my own stuff. But it wasn't until, how long ago is it, Tony?
It was December. It was like this time 2 years ago.
Yeah. When I actually posted something online that I wrote, and seemed like some people liked it. So yeah, like Tony said, it's going to be shipping out in the not too distant future. I'm on Twitter, Apes of Wrath _RPG, and I've got some stuff on Itch, some one-page things, and I've got some stuff on Drive Through RPG as well. And just trying to write more and more, trying to read from other writers as well more and more. Yep.
Well, looking
that's
forward
it.
to playing with you. And last but not least, one of my other, these are all my ride or dies, by the way. My local one, my editing one, my design buddy for the last year. But we've got Jarrett Crater. Jarrett, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and does the new stuff have an online people can check out yet?
Yeah, for the first time in the year and a half or so, plus however long that I've been appearing on your channel and hanging out in this space, I can actually tell folks to go to spacepenguin.ink and sign up for our email newsletter that's coming soon, TM. I'm Jarrett. I help make RPGs in any number of ways, shapes, forms. A little bit of writing. I've done some art before. It's pretty bad. A lot of editing, design, project management, listening, coaching, teaching, funding, whatever you name it. I've tried to do it and succeed a lot of times, but sometimes not. I'm gonna just try again.
Awesome. I'm super excited. You're going to be GMing for us today. Also very excited that Gamer Priest, my good buddy Ben, went over and already backed it on the Kickstarter. Again, we encourage people to go check it out. Ben, also, you missed it because it launched while you had COVID, and so it's okay. It's okay, Ben, that you missed it. Take it easy.
Unacceptable.
But yeah, we're going to be playing hirelings, going out on a mission. We use a couple different tools to keep everything here on track and to make sure everybody stays comfortable when we are playing games. There's a couple different safety tools. Usually we use lines, veils, and the X card unless the system we're using has another set in place. So we always have a strong line against sexual violence here on the channel, but we like to leave everything else open to a conversation amongst the players. But lines are things that may happen in the world of the game, but don't happen in the course of our play of it. They are off limits. Veils are things that if they come up in the course of play, we handle in a very specific way. That could be fade to black. It could be just touching on them lightly and moving on, or only approaching them in a certain capacity. The X card is the ability for anybody at any point in time to say message X over to the rest of the group, at which point we'll pause, identify what the issue is, and move forward in a different direction, eliminating that from the game. And then we also use an open door policy. So you may say yes, eat, drink, get up, move around, need to do normal human things because we are pretty normal humans. But if you need to do those things, you should also, we will as well. With that said, does anybody have any other lines or veils that they want to add to our session today?
Not really, no.
Say a veil for child death.
Cool.
But other than that, I think I'm good.
And all the usual ones for me: no racism, no homophobia, no transphobia, no bigotry, no fascism, nothing like that. We're gonna be doing a pretty straightforward little dungeon. I've run it many times. I love it to death. Should I tell people what it is, Tony?
You can if you want to.
Sure. It's called The Well of Souls by Bustler and Hoffman. It's a so you've already read it, Curbs?
No, I know about it. Luckily, I haven't read this one.
Okay, good.
But I do know about it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite examples of a DCC dungeon, but also just a dungeon that caters to 0 level play or lower level play. I've run it DTC 5e. BX Classic Traveler. Yes, there was a time when I was running everything I could in Classic Traveler to see it works. It works. Cool. So it's what I'm super familiar with. Fairly straightforward. Yeah,
I love it. I'm a big fan of using established dungeons with new players to test the system. So I'm very excited to sit down with Curbs and y'all and get into play. So with that said, Jared, I'm going to hand things over to you to take us to the guild.
All right.
One day I'll get cool transition things where I'll be like,
yeah.
Next time.
We should totally, we should. Okay. So you three are members of the guild. I guess each one of you say one word, and that'll be the name of the guild. Start with Tony. the
God
Marcus.
damn it, Tony. It's a cop out.
Who, me?
Yeah, pick a word.
The Radiant.
The Radiant.
I was gonna say orange, so I'm just gonna stick with it.
The Radiant Orange.
The Radiant
Okay.
Orange Guild.
God,
All right.
I can't decide if we're just really into citrus or just really into the color orange. Find out.
Why not both?
Why not both?
I had an orange for breakfast today. So,
Nice.
and you have been tasked with accompanying Sir Chad Throckmorton. Yes, he's a bit of a tool. You are to accompany Sir Chad Throckmorton on an expedition. Recently, the tablets of fate that have been scrutinized over years and years and years by the Radiant Orange have revealed 3 inscriptions, and I'm going to copy these into our side chat here.
Well, if you could do it on Discord, that would be far better because it is very hard for me to. Okay.
That's where I'm doing them. I'm going to put them all 3 in there, and then I'll read them out loud for the crowd. The first is from Ningisia's tablet. The inscription reads, "Let not your sacrifices weigh you down, but open new doors of opportunity." The second on Ashkari's tablet reads, "Tread softly, for you tread on my dreams." And the third on Sophet's tablet reads, "Look not to the stars for guidance, but in yourselves." So those 3 are off to the side there. You can contemplate those. We'll just leave it a bit vague, and we're going to jump right to the entrance of this little dungeon so we can test some guild. From the darkness of the well emanates the haunting moans of the deceased plunderers and defilers who risked everything to learn the secrets below. But you have something they did not, the tablets of fate. Through guile and treachery, force and luck, you have jointly acquired these ancient stone tablets. Also, the hookup from the Radiant Orange. And only with their hieroglyphics dare you hope to circumvent the horrors that lie within the Well of Souls. You and your charge, Sir Chad Throckmorton, stand around a gaping hole in the floor of a mountain cave. A crude pulley and rope system hangs over this hole, and from it dangles a singular wooden bucket. It's a pretty large bucket. You can probably put like your two booted feet into this bucket. I guess this is a big deal. The Radiant Orange has some money, but not a whole lot of money.
Okay.
Will you brave the depths below in search of fame, fortune, and liberation from your downtrodden lives? Answer is yes.
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 All right, so let's do a dramatis personae. We'll go from the bottom. Curbs, introduce your character.
Hello, my name is Calliope. I don't do character voices. I am of
It's
an
weird that
unknown-
Calliope just said that out loud.
Yes, hello. Listen, Tony, it's been a while since I played a role-playing game, okay? That's all I got right now.
Okay,
cool.
Marcus?
Yep. I'm Bones. I'm what am I? I go around wielding a dirty sock with some gravel in it. That's my weapon of choice.
Oh, that's
And
what
I
was-
also dabble in the occult, I think. Got a tarot deck and a Ouija board thing.
Ooh, nice. Right.
Cool.
Yeah, that's me.
All right, Tony?
As always, whenever I play an OSR starting level character, my name is Thrag. I have a corn cutter. That's what it is because it's for cutting corn, and it's got a nice corn shaped handle on it also too. A shucker's apron is what I'm wearing, to keep
Nice.
those long stalks from from cutting into you because I grew up as a farmer. I also can oftentimes be seen caressing a strange rock I found in a field one time. And I spent more of my time on the way here talking to the pack mules and animals in the train than I did talking to y'all. So, you know, I have a pet lizard also too.
Let me get back in here because I blanked out on how to introduce a character. That's why.
And now that we've done it, you remember how to do it.
Yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so I'm of unknown origin. I do not have a background. My motivation for joining the guild is to become famous. And I carry a sharpened chicken bone lashed to a small piece of wood, and I wear a leather butcher's apron.
Got it.
So is that like a shiv? Like
It's basically just a bone shiv, yeah.
Chicken bone stick, shiv,
Yeah.
right?
My father gave it to me,
Yeah.
but I don't know who my father is.
It was just left with a note saying, "This is for my kid."
Yeah.
Hey, chat. I am looking for a name for my pet lizard, by the way. So if you got ideas, toss them in.
Hell yeah.
All right. So yeah, you're standing around this hole, and Sir Chad Throckmorton says, "All right. My job here is done. I have escorted you here. Totally flipping the script. I will see you all at the end of the afternoon. I expect things to happen in a timely fashion." As he's doing this like nice little backwards walk, and then he rolls that boulder over the cave. So you're inside. What do you want to do?
Shit. Weren't we supposed to help him?
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, that was my impression as well.
I figured the hero who found these 3 tablets would have easily been able to handle this, and this was going to be a cushy ride. And I think we see just a side cut of the sets of hirelings he had with him for each tablet that are no longer members of the guild as they all die horribly.
You hear this muffled clocks ticking from the other side of the rock that he just rolled over the
All
entrance.
right.
All right. How dark is it in here?
It's quite dark now that what last bit of remaining morning light filtered in through. He left you with a couple of torches.
Okay, I was about to say, anybody got torches? Because I didn't bring one. I was banking on him.
Yeah. Well,
we have torches. We have torches.
Yeah, we
yes.
do.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just light one up.
Cool.
Yeah, same.
Well, if there's 2 torches, I'll just stow the last one. Won't light it right now. And you said there's a well we need to get. There's like a bucket with a rope.
Yeah, it's a makeshift well. And it's a fairly large bucket. Like you could stand in it like. Like you could plant your feet and hold on to the rope. Oh yes, I'm also showing off my new +1 pizza shirt.
Only get the pizza shirts if you come to a convention we're at, and then
right.
buy 'em.
Shirt.
We might have them up online one day later this month.
It's really super comfy, y'all too. Like it's really soft. It's going in my regular rotation.
Calliope looks at the rest of you and says, "Who's got the highest agility?"
I say, Snack does, as I lower my pet lizard down into the bucket.
Okay.
And we're gonna run Snack down with a makeshift light down to the bottom. So that we're gonna lay one of the torches across the top. So
Okay. Yeah.
and we'll give Snack some light and lower him down.
Cool, yeah, and you crank in and cranking and lower. And the light as it gets a little bit further. Let's see, are any of you particularly intelligent? Like
I've got a mind of 4,
Yeah, 4 as well.
I've got 4 as well.
so we're all decently intelligent.
Okay. Well, if one of you would like to check, I'd say let's go against minimize. Let's go against a 15. So it's average difficulty.
Cool. So let's walk through how a roll works. Curbs, you want to tell everybody what that looks like?
Yeah. So when you roll in for a check or anything like that, you're going to roll a d20. You're going to add your aptitude, which is essentially your skill modifier. And then you want to roll under the target number or under the enemy's attack roll, the opposed roll that you're rolling against. Pretty
Cool.
easy. Negative numbers are best.
Yeah.
Cool. Curb, you may want to turn up your mic or just move it a little closer to your mouth also too.
Is that better?
That is better.
Okay.
Cool. So, I mean, I'll do it. It's my lizard. You know,
It is your lizard.
So currently I've got my corn cutter, my shucker's apron. They each take a load. I've got a load of gold. And I've got a strange rock I found in the field, which I don't think has any load, along with my backpack. So that puts me at my mind aptitude being what?
So for aptitude, you're only going to calculate your gear, which is your weapons
So
armor.
2 minus 4. Is that correct?
So your mind aptitude, yeah, would then be -2. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to roll a d20 and subtract 2.
Yep.
You want to roll under the target number of 15.
I got an 8.
You went, okay, yeah, you did. You paid attention in math class, and so you get your fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4 of 1,000. And as the light is going down, what was the lizard's name again?
Snack.
Snack. Okay, just snack. Ow.
Yeah, but it's spelled really cool.
Yeah, SNEK.
It's
right?
short. It's short for Snicker Snack, but yes.
As it's going down, you're counting off. You're estimating it's about 60 feet down to the bottom, but it's a single torch light in this darkened hole, so you can't really see the bottom, but you feel it because the rope suddenly goes slack, like it droops, and you hear this little punk way down in the distance. So
Cool. And we'll wheel it back up.
Okay.
After we give him a couple minutes. I mean, I told him to look around while he was down there.
Does he listen really well? Is he like a super obedient lizard?
I don't know. Lizard technically probably an NPC. I default to the GM how.
well, I think most importantly is you put your lizard friend into a wooden bucket with a torch on top.
He knows how important this is to me.
And it's essentially a roasting pan.
No.
No,
No, it's not.
So
It's at best a smoking pen, and he loves to smoke.
He's a heavy smoker.
So then we wheel him back up. And yeah, I mean, as a farmer's child, I know the language of animals, and so I asked Snack what he saw down there.
and what Snack you've been with Snack for years, so he gives you in whatever Snack language, cold, wet, rock.
I think there's some cold, wet rocks down there, y'all. I'll go first. I'll go down with Snack this time.
And are you going to roll down in the bucket, or are you going to slide down the rope? How are you getting down there?
Oh, I assume the bucket was the normal mode of ingress. Yeah. So my hope is that my good friends will slowly lower me down.
We got your back.
We'll slowly lower you down, and it feels a little perilous as you get down about halfway. The temperature drops noticeably. It's almost like you wish you would have brought that jacket.
Oh my gosh, Snack! I'm so sorry. You're cold-blooded, and I sent you down here like this.
You get all the way down to the bottom, and torchlight, out to like 30 feet or so, and you're standing in a little pool of water, just a little cavernous bit. You could faintly make out stalactites and stalagmites from the ceiling and floor. It's just, like you said, the drip every now and then, pop, 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 as water pops around. And you're on what looks to be like a stone landing. Like, it doesn't look to be human made or anything like that. It's part of the earth that got kind of rumbled and broken off, during a big shakeup. Scattered on the ground near you are all kinds of coins. like it looks to be like this was used as a wishing well. There are, and I mean, they're talking like just a quick glance. You're seeing like coins from all kinds of different places, all kinds of different cultures, all kinds of different sizes, weights. There's some faces. There's one with this like bat fangs on it. They're off in the distance, like in the gloom a little bit. You make out the shapes of 3 canoes, like dugout type canoes, just kind of rocking a little bit. And then as you do the usual, I'm a smart explorer 360. To the north, you can see what looks to be some sort of like blasted out, like human-made sort of situation. And to the south, the steps of a dais, like heading up to another platform. So what do you want to do?
I mean, I'm gonna start gathering up some coins.
Okay.
While I'm waiting on my. There's some boats and stuff down here.
All right.
No mention of the coins, of course, right?
Nah.
Hey, Calliope, you want to go down next?
Yeah, sure. How are you gonna get down? Is there a? I'm gonna yell down to Thrag. Is there a crank at the bottom?
Is there a crank at the bottom?
And there is not a crank at the bottom. So it looks like whoever comes down last might have to do something creative.
So they could potentially just climb down the rope.
That's
on the way
true.
down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was my idea.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'll ride down next.
Okay. So yeah. Crank. Bones is like, man, my arm is tired. Calliope, you get down there, and you see Thrag leaning over, grabbing coins and bits and pieces there, and then all of the stuff I just described, to the north, what looks to be a man-made, like kind of blasted out a little bit of a tunnel. Those 3 boats, and then to the south, what looks to be a dais in the coming up out of the water, heading towards another platform. Meanwhile, up top, Marcus, what is Bones going to do?
Bones is going to slide down the rope a bit too fast.
What's the guy? Okay.
I just want them to notice my cool superhero landing at the bottom.
Okay. Well, this sounds like it's not the what is it? It's not the fall. It's the impact, right? So it's not the fall. Like you're like fireman's pole, like sliding down, awesome pose. It is when you hit the ground. Unless anyone else was doing something cool to help you not break an ankle.
I dragged the bucket over the water. So
I mean, I'll be happy to try and like you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull the rope out a little bit.
Kirby, stay close to your microphone, not far away.
Sorry. I'm gonna pull I get really excited when I have an idea. I'm gonna pull the rope away a little bit so it kind of slopes. So as he slides down, it'll kind of catch him.
Okay. Nice. Kind of sweet. Okay, so I would say that will provide a minus. That's a pretty good one. Like that'll provide like a -3 to the roll. This is pretty deadly. That's 60 feet. Like usually in.
I mean, that's why I was like slanted towards the water. Same thing.
Yeah.
Just into the water.
In other trad systems, that's an impact of 1d6 per 10 feet. So that would be 66 of damage on a oops. But we don't know if that happens yet. So I would say let's make this average. Let's make it a 15 again. And you've got friends. So roll might.
And just to make sure, I have 3 load. I have 4 might. That gives me a -1, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Cool. And the -3 also.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So D20 -3, and you want to get
all
under.
Right, so that's a -2.
Hell yeah.
3.
Nice. So it's narrate how awesome and cool it is. It's like the coolest shit.
Marcus, before
Yeah,
you do that, move your microphone a little bit closer to your mouth.
Yep. Yeah, this is like something straight out of an action movie or an action theater one might see in the big city. Looks like it's been rehearsed dozens of times, and I just land in a superhero pose. Dust goes up in the air when I land, and I just put my head up, look at you, and say, "Are we done here?"
I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah, Bones. I'm gonna give you like a fist bump.
Back at you.
I see a new mechanic being grown into guild right now as we speak. Style points.
Style points.
I'm just
Uh-oh.
saying. Just saying.
Uh-oh.
Kirby, if you roll negative, does it do anything specific, or it's just like an ideal situation?
I think in the text I had at one point negative rolls are instant successes, but I think I took it out because that was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
But-
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I like it. I would say go ahead and put it back in there.
Okay,
Just because as your editor friend, and a person who deals with that a lot, if you don't explicitly say that something is something, folks will ask you on your Discord server or on Twitter or any number of other social places, and you'll be like, make future you have a better day by just, current you adding that in there now. It's just worldwide advice to everybody. Let's I'm gonna bumper sticker that.
Yeah. Okay.
Make your day easier.
Right. Awesome. So we have made it. You've made it through the entrance, and you're down. Like you said, you're in this. You're all standing, and it's like it's wet and muddy. Marcus said dust, and I was like, I'm gonna modify that to mud. It's a little moist down there. And like I said, to the north there is that what looks to be man-made cave. Like somebody took some sort of crude dynamite, and it blasted just a little bit of carving of the holes out. There's all kinds of coins and stuff. There are literally more coins, and they're all in really, really, really small denominations and stuff like that. But there are some larger ones, all kinds of colors, all kinds of shapes, sizes, different stuff like imprinted on them. And to the south, like you said, there's that dais and the boats that are floating in the water. So yeah. It's very cold down here.
Do you have to go through water to get to the dais?
Yes. So the natural platform essentially that you're standing on, it does drip, gradually rolls down into water, and that's hence the little boats there kind of.
I'll scrap a couple handfuls of the smaller coins, hoping it'll give me like a couple gold when I get back. And stuff them in my pack, and then walk over to the edge of the water with my torch and kind of take a look at the boats, waiting for the other two.
Cool. So the boats. Oh, go ahead.
I'll try to find one a coin that looks. I mean, the most occult-looking coin there I can find. Maybe that one with the bat fangs and.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Doing another quick shill for our friend Luke Gearing. If you ever have a need for cool weird coins, and treasure, it's good stuff.
Are there any Kickstarter projects right now that Luke Gearing is contributing to that any of y'all know of?
Yeah, I do. Luke Gearing is contributing to the stretch goal for this Kickstarter for Guild Sword of Magic for Hire.
What? So we get more Luke Gearing goodness out into the world if people want to TTRPG.link.
There is a stretch goal for this game at $4,000. Everybody that backs physically gets a free adventure booklet with adventures written by Luke Gearing, Stella Condry, Christian Sorrell, who's Meat Castle Gameware, Amanda P, who did Tanic and Pilgrimage of the Sun Guard, Tom Owen, my buddy, who's a very good writer and doesn't have anything published yet, but he's very good. And then me, the person who wrote this.
Cool.
So 6 adventures in a booklet, and it all comes for free. Fucking great.
Yeah.
So go over to TTRPG.link/GuildKs to help make that happen.
Let's make it happen, please.
So we, so I'm going to take one of the coins that was down here and with the torch near the water now, throw that coin in, see if we can tell how deep this water goes, or if it's murky or clear or any of that kind of stuff.
So the water itself is cool and clean looking, like it's very clear, and it pops, and you just see that coin, trajectory go down. It's only about 3 feet deep.
Okay.
Even you're holding your torchlight like out over that, and you, when it hits the water, you hear this kind of like fluttering up above you. The boats, 3 boats, they look to be the basic simple dugout canoes. They look to be big enough to seat 3 people, and they're all tied up to this iron ring that's been bolted into the landing that you're on. There are 4 paddles in each of the boats, and then Marcus, roll me, this is just offside for fun, roll me percentage dice, please.
63.
Okay. It's a pretty cool bat coin. You could probably find some researcher to do some neat stuff with it, and maybe give you a history of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't really emanate any sort of like power or glow or anything that you know of at the current time.
Can I that fluttering above, was that bats? Can I see that?
When you look up, you have another torch, and you see give or take 1,000 sets of bright glowing eyes, just kind of like
Staring.
and you realize that part of the plop wasn't necessarily water. It was bat guano. Can you check agility to make sure that these bats didn't just shit in your eye?
I got a +1 to my agility on this.
Nice. And
I rolled a 5. So
okay, it was under the 10. Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Sidestep the bat shit. So yeah, and that susurration, it starts to get a little bit loud. I don't know if any of you ever been in a cave with a lot of bats, but it starts to get really loud really fast.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Is it loud enough so we can hear each other?
Yeah, it's you can still talk clearly, but it's starting to
pick up.
While my friends here are checking out the bats, I'm just going to untie one of those canoes and literally kick it off towards the dais and just start paddling over there.
Yeah, as soon as I dodge that guano, I'll look to the boats and see Thrag just already like in the water, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm run over to a boat and unhook one and push it out.
Okay.
And this body of water, is it just like a pond, or is it like a
Yeah.
river flowing through this chamber?
It's more like a pond than anything. It's not moving. It's fairly still, other than the ripples from the boat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'll just take the third canoe then and
cool.
Cross over to the other side.
So yeah, so canoe party, really quick paddling. Let's have you all test your choice, might or agility, whichever you feel. Because I know Marcus likes to do things with. Bones likes to do things with style.
Mm-hmm.
I got 11.
Okay, that's a failure, Tony.
Oh shit! I rolled a 4.
Okay, you're good, Curbs.
And that's 3 minus 1. That's 2.
Okay. On the die, and you rolled the die too.
I'm sorry.
You added the D20 in as well.
Yeah, my roll was a 3.
Wow, your dice are awesome.
They're yellow.
Send those to me, bud.
They're yellow. Perfect.
The best color for dice.
It's super great for visibility. I have some good ones here. So yeah, Bones
I'll just wheelie my canoe over there.
yeah,
We-
just it's Fonzie jumping the shark, but just
How fast are you spinning your arms in that water?
and Calliope, you right over there, right after Bones.
I kicked off weird, and I'm just spinning.
And like, and that is when it starts. It starts like a foam cloud, a bit of a cyclone, a bit of a tornado, and then those bats. It starts to get really loud, and they start coming straight for you, Tony. What are you gonna do? What's everybody gonna do?
My first instinct is to protect Snack, so I stick him inside my shucker's apron, make sure he's safe. And I think I yell out. I ask the bats because I understand the language of animals because it's one of the farmers. I ask the bats what they want,
and it is so loud that all you can hear is protect the shield, protect the shield. And so they're starting to cyclone towards you. Bones and Calliope, if you're probably looking up, you see that part of one of these stalactites that they were hanging on is an overlarge bat goddess that does resemble that coin that you picked up. And now that these bats have cycloned off like a drain and they're starting to head towards Thrag, you see that is some the bat goddess has a shiny metal shield.
I have a reed flute. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to whistle it at the highest possible pitch to try and like make them like slightly in pain so they'll like scatter away from Thrag while he's in the boat.
Okay. This is going to be your lung capacity, because you could totally like
yeah,
and a few of them kind of scattered, but if you're like trying to like scatter them all,
yeah,
this one is going to be pretty hard.
Okay, so might.
So, yeah,
-1. I rolled a 12.
Okay, barely missed it. We were setting for 10, and it gets you. Some of them, they're not bothering you. They're not bothering Bones because they're kind of just all dropping off the ceiling. Marcus, what would you like to do?
I have no idea. Like, how is Thrag in danger? Like, is he in?
Yeah, these bats are cycloning. There's a bunch of them probably gonna swallow Thrag up whole. At least they're not giant bats or anything, but just be like blanketed with 1,000 tiny little bats, probably poking, prodding. Thrag might die in like 5 seconds.
And is he in the middle of the water?
Mm-hmm. Just spinning. The boat's just spinning end to end.
But they all seem focused on Thrag, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they'll probably turn on us when Thrag goes down. But okay, I just like, get in the water, flip your canoe. And I'll just do that myself. I'll jump in the water and flip my canoe and have that as a shield over me.
Nice. Yeah. And you feel like pelt, 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 as a few of the stray ones that have been whistled off because of the subsonics and like they kind of are the sonics and they kind of pelt over. And yeah, they're staying away from you, Calliope. The few of them are dinging and dang. Tony, what's Thrag doing?
Yeah, I think I just now that I've got now that I've got Snack stowed away, I'm just gonna roll the canoe over on top of me.
Okay. Yeah. That water is cold. Woo! Otherwise, good to go. A few minutes later, maybe 2-3 minutes later, they've kind of beat the shit out of the top of your the bottom of your canoe, and you can feel it like when several of them hit all at once. a little crack and a little splinter. These canoes are just cut, dugouts. They're not like lacquered or anything like that. And boom, but after about 3, 4, 5 minutes, they all kind of disappear, and they all funnel themselves to that entrance, that rough-hewn, human-made cavern to the north.
Okay, so they want to protect a shield.
The shield that's on the bat statue above
Mhm.
us.
That's hanging up above.
All right.
Oh, well, they went the wrong way then. The shield's up there.
They got whistled off.
Tony, that voice you're doing is giving me flashbacks to shitting a milkshake in a 7-Eleven.
That was not my character's voice. For that stream, my character talked kind of like
That's
this
what
the
it was.
entire time.
I'm gonna just paddle. I'm the only one that didn't end up in the water, so I'm just gonna keep paddling to the dais and then just wait for the other two to make their way up.
Yeah, I'll try best as I can make my way up.
Yeah, I'll walk over and drag my
Wait,
canoe
I'm
there.
hideous as I emerge from the water, all wet and soggy.
You look gorgeous.
You're just saying that.
Yeah, I just dragged my canoe over there with Snack riding along on top of it.
Cool. So yeah,
Wait, real quick though, how thick are these canoes? Like, could I splinter one into some like pieces?
they just got splintered pretty well. The one that was above Thrag by the weight, the repetitive tiny little concussive blows of 1,000 bats.
Could
So
I?
that one's pretty worked up and beat
Could I
up.
salvage a chunk of this to be like some kind of breastplate?
It sounds like you want to roll. Okay. Let's make this extremely difficult.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
Which one? Mind or I'm gonna say mind or might. That's my question.
we'll go with mind.
I rolled a 15, so
Yeah, no, cool. So you got this like splintery pieces of jaggedy wood that you put on for a second. And you're like, oh god, that's no. Just, like toss it with a splash into the water.
damn it.
Cool. So yeah, there's the statue way up above, holding what looks to be a large shiny metal shield. Up on the shield itself, like I said, is that emblem of the bat off that coin that Marcus picked up. And then
I pick up the coin again and try to see if there's anything written on it or any names or incantations or what have you.
Nope, it's just that really cool picture, very similar to what's on that shield.
I don't know if this was clarified, but how big is the shield that's up there, and also how far up off the ground? Like how many meters off the ground?
It's a full shield, and it's because you're in a cavern, it is about 15 feet.
Oh, that's not. I was for some reason I was picturing it being much bigger and much higher up. I have a little wooden mallet. I'm gonna throw at the shield and see if I can knock it off the stalactite. Because fuck these bats.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Say again. Sorry.
I got this little wooden mallet, like a carpenter's
Okay.
mallet. I'm gonna throw it at the shield and see if I can knock it down.
Okay, this too will be extremely difficult.
Yeah, let's do
It's
it.
not the distance; it's just dislodging it.
So might.
Yeah.
All right. I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Awesome.
And it comes, flies straight down. It's a really, 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 really big shiny shield.
I pick it up. Can I use it?
Sure. You want to add it to your
I'm
load
going
sheet?
to. I currently have a cauldron lid for a shield, so I'm going to use this instead.
Tell us about that load.
That load. Yeah, you got to give me some. Well, I gotta roll on that. Let me pull up my stats here. Let's see. I'm gonna roll my D4. Or did you already make stats for this, Jerk?
Is it
I did-
good? Is it
I-
good, Jared?
I have not.
Okay.
rolled stats for it.
Well, I just did. If that's cool. 40 rating. 5 load. Holy fuck. And
So you explain what you're going to do. I'll be right back. You
Sure.
explain what you're doing to the people at home.
I will.
And I'll
I will.
explain that Real Meat Castle wants to know what adventure. Is it just something from the accursed mind of Jared? No, it's the Well of Souls, the DCC 0 level adventure. Since we're hirelings, because we're playing Guild, you can find out more at TTRPG.link. That's GuildKs. Kirby, tell us about rolling up an item when you retrieve loot.
Yes, so in Guild, Sword of Magic for Hire, there are no specific items, magic, trinkets, or armor. Everything is in categories, and there is various tables for you to, well, just a single table for each category for you to roll on. So, for instance, I've just picked up a shield, so I will roll 1d4 for my shield's rating, and that varies from 6 to 40, and the rating is essentially how many health points the shield has. Then I can also roll for the load and the value. And then, if it's a specific shield, like Jert described it being this giant bat shield or whatever, then I know what that is. But otherwise, I can make up kind of my own thing for it.
Cool.
I can say, this is a really cool wooden kite shield or something like that. The goal with that being kind of making a world that can feel full without a book that is full.
Apparently, Real Meat Castle has heard of Guild before.
Real Meat Castle is one of our
Yeah,
spectacular,
which is good because, as we already discussed before Christian was on,
is one of our spectacular writers for the Guild Adventure Diary issue 0, which is the stretch goal for $4,000 for our Kickstarter here that we talked about a minute ago. I'm getting more comfortable advertising.
what we're here for, baby.
All right. So,
All right, so you got your cool shield now.
With 40 rating. So now I'm the tank. I rolled a lot on that.
That's what I was getting to. You're the tank now.
I'm the tank now, but my gear load is higher now. My gear load is
I'll go ahead and take your top of a like cracked pot or whatever it was.
Yeah. So that's just going to be, that's got 6 rating. That's the starter shield. So that's got 6 rating, 1 load, no value, no bonus. I got to adjust all my aptitudes because I picked up something heavy, and then we're good to go.
Do the bats react at all to this shield?
So they mostly headed north into that cave. There are a few that kind of like flutter in and then just kind of like flutter back up to the very top. And Thrag is hearing them say, "Shield is safe. Shield is safe. Shield is safe."
All right, cool. They like it. They like your vibe.
They're a fan of me carrying the shield. Good.
Is there anything else on this side that looks interesting?
Make me let's see. Let's use your mind, Marcus.
Yeah.
If you would make me a roll, and we'll call this hard. So you're gonna roll under. Actually, yeah, I think we'll call it that.
Yeah, that's a 7. 8 minus 1,
okay.
7.
Nice. Yeah. So you're doing the usual. I'm checking shit out, and oh, sorry. Yeah. Wow. I matched it up. And you're looking around, tapping around, and you see the shape of a door, and on the very farthest southern wall of this raised up dais area that you're on.
Like, is there a handle on it?
There is indeed a handle.
Yo, I got a door.
Let's go before those bats come back.
My thoughts exactly. Wait, how are we on torches right now? I guess mine is soaking wet.
Oh shit.
We
Well,
got- we got
mine's
one.
still fine because I never I never went into water. So we at least have one, and one was never lit. So
Good, good.
yours will have to dry out.
Yeah.
Let's go in that
Uh,
hole.
Wait, before I even touch the handle, like, is it a stone door, a metal door, wooden door?
It's stone. It's very intricately cut and very professionally cut, and it almost blends in to the wall itself until you get to the handle part. And you're like, well, they didn't do a really good job of hiding it, I guess.
I particularly keep my eye out for any ominous runes on the door before I touch the handle.
Yeah, nothing odd, nothing weird, no bat fang creatures or anything like that. So
All right, so I take my. Is everybody with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I start spinning my sock with gravel in it in my right hand.
You got a smiley chain? A fucking slock.
Warming it up.
And I open the door with my left hand, and I just pull it open.
yeah, and there's this gasp of like air, just slightly less damp. Kind of billows out a few degrees warmer. But yeah, you're looking at a tunnel. Torchlight in there. Looks to be it heads around to the left and kind of curves to the right. What do you want to do?
People with shields go first. That's what I always
Yeah,
hear.
I also have the torch, so I'm definitely going to lead the way. And I'll follow the passage until it hits some kind of T or opening or something.
Sure. And as you have the lit torch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and as you bring that lit torch close to that shield, the shield starts to glow.
Ooh.
And it starts to almost match the level of intensity of the torch the closer you get to it.
So if I take it away, does it stop glowing or does it continue to glow?
No, it continues to glow.
Oh, excellent. So I'll pass the torch back once I realize what's happening. I'll pass the torch back to whoever's in the rear, and you can and I'll use the shield as a light. Great. Let's go. This is so cool. It's really fucking heavy though. I have to use 2 hands for it.
It is quite a heavy shield.
Luckily, I only use a chicken bone for my weapon, so
Right.
okay.
You've got range also.
When nobody's looking, I try to see if my coin reacts the same way as the shield does.
It does indeed.
Ooh,
Wow.
interesting.
Does indeed.
This is cool.
It is. It is.
So yeah, Curb's Calliope heading on down.
Mhm.
Doing her thing, and like so the tunnel veers to the left and then the right a little bit. It's carved stone. It looks like a human has actually worked it here and there, or some sort of humanoid. Fairly tall, like human size. And you come to a section where there are these steps that seem to have been cut and into the floor, and then down, and then there is another door. Now this one is not stone. This door is very large, and this door is very much made of iron. And in the floor next to it is a very large lever, also made of iron.
I would like to look above, kind of around the actual jamb of the door and see if there's anything spooky attached to that lever.
Luckily, no.
Okay.
Luckily, this
Which
is
is
all
good because
clear.
I already threw that lever while he was looking.
Yeah, and the door.
Damn you.
Creaks open, and you notice that it's on a bit of a runner in the floor, and what looks to be like specific intervals kind of marked out a little bit, and it reaches all the way till it gets perpendicular and it's open.
Enter. Here we go.
And you are in this enormous grotto. The temperature drops right down. It got a little bit warmer when you opened that initial door, Bones, and then as you got further down, it got colder again. When you open this one, Tony, when Thrag does, it's this wash of like shivering cold air. It's like, oh my god, I really wish I would have brought that fucking jacket. Oh my god.
I let Snack crawl their way into either my armpit or my loincloth, whichever one they're most comfortable with.
I was gonna say, I knew you were gonna say that. The lizard down there in your loincloth.
I left it up to the NPC to decide what they wanted to do.
So very, 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 very large. From where you've come in, because again, like I said, like the passageway kind of snaked around a bit. And you're oriented mostly facing north. And you see this faint glow across anything and everything in here. You reach over, you put your hand on the wall, and it's moss. So this iridescent glow is doing its thing. And then in the water, there are hundreds of these little crabs, these little pincher guys, and they all seem to be glowing like blue-green. And it's bright enough in here that you can tell that the ceiling somehow, mysteriously, miraculously, you're like, we're underground. We didn't drop down this many degrees, but this ceiling in this space is hundreds of feet above, and it looks to be the night sky. And occasionally there's like a meteor will just kind of like shriek across. If we were playing Mothership, this would be a sanity save here. Let's make it a I like the horror aspect here. Let's make it a mind. Let's make it a mind check from everybody, and it'll be easy. You just gotta roll under 20.
Okay.
I rolled a 0.
I rolled a 10.
Nice.
7.
Okay. And you're all just like taken aback for just a second, like, whoa, wait. And you're like, okay, this has got to be magic or some shit like that. In the center of this grotto is an island, and we're looking distance from you, probably 50 feet, 60 feet out to this island. And it looks to be like kind of like a miniature city. Like, everybody familiar with the bottled city of Candor?
I am.
Yeah. It looks to be like you're like, wait, what?
Does it look like a city we've seen before, or?
It does not.
Okay.
However, in the center of the city, there is a very large pyramid, and from the top of the pyramid, on the facing you, so it's facing the south because you're looking to the north, seems to be a silver rod. And then further across the chamber, it's say about 180 to 200 feet, way off. There seems to be a bit of a beach and a little bit of a waterfall. And then not far from that, there's another one of these iron doors like what you just came through. So what do you want to do?
Did you say how deep the water is that the crabs are in?
It's pretty shallow.
Okay, so we can just walk in it.
Mm-hmm. One of
We
those.
can, but there's also a ton of crabs, right?
Well, yeah, but if we're hungry, we can just grab a few. But
Right. How far back is the little pond?
Like to roll back to where you came from?
Yeah.
You can. I mean, you can get back there in a few turns. Is that what you meant, like time wise?
Yeah, I mean, well, length or time, like either way. Like it's a minute down the hall, or we walked 20 minutes.
It's a lot shorter than one would think for having the internal elevation to where this ceiling can be hundreds of feet high. So yeah, it's maybe 3 minutes.
Cool. I mean, because we can go. And was the hallway? You said it curved. Was it a sharp curve or a gentle curve?
Gentle.
Okay.
So you want to go get a canoe?
We can go get a canoe.
Let's go get a canoe, just in case.
I'll go portage a canoe back over to us.
Okay.
Yeah, Bones, stay here and here. I give Bones my reed flute and I say whistle if anything happens.
You know how to whistle, don't you?
And then I'll help.
You
I'll help
use that
Frag
thing.
carry the canoe back.
When you make it back to the it's super uneventful for Bones. Like it's just nice. Bones, there's just a lot of crabs in the water and they're playing and you maybe they're doing like the little crab dance here and there.
Let's see.
But they stay in the water.
Yeah. They'll occasionally crawl up the beach onto the little island and like crawl over parts of the little model city, but they don't seem to be like doing anything untoward.
While they're off getting the canoe, I try to study the night, the stars in the sky. You said there were stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does it resemble the normal night sky I might have looked upon before, or like do I recognize any constellations or anything?
Yeah, so there are most of your normal conversations, your normal constellations that you've seen, and occasionally, like there'll be some that you haven't. They just kind of like shift in and overlay for just a second. But if you focus real hard, you blink your eyes, they go out, and it focuses it in it, and it's back to the normal night sky that you are used to.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I remember one of those texts we read about we should not look to the stars for guidance, but in yourselves. I just don't know how this applies to this, but all right.
All right. So Bones is pondering the tablets, and Calliope and Thrag make their way back, and the bats have all reassembled themselves on the ceiling, and the bats are going, "Be careful! Be careful! Be careful! Be careful!" That's what you're hearing. That's what you're making out. Thrag. Other than that, nothing untoward. You grab the canoe, you haul it down.
Cool. We get back.
We're back. Anything happened, Bones?
No, I was just looking at the night sky. It looks like familiar constellations, but I don't want to look up too much.
Yeah, something. I remember somebody said something about not looking at the stars. I don't remember what it was from, though.
So the bat said to be careful.
All right.
So I'm going to go ask the crabs what's up.
Yeah, talk to the crabs.
Mm-hmm.
And I go over to the crabs and I give them a, classic.
Make sounded more like a duck, but
right.
That is the sound that
sworn enemy of crabs,
Krabby makes in Pokemon American translation.
True.
That's my best crab.
Crab versus ducks. It's the new RPG coming soon from the +1 experience.
Let's get plussy.
Let's make it. Wow. Teddy, will you please check mind? These crabs, much like some of the constellations that kind of like shift in and overlay that Bones was studying earlier, they look like normal crabs that you've seen on, down at Crab Beach, or Crab Shack, but they're a little bit different, almost like they're wispy or floaty or amorphous.
So that's going to be a 7.
Okay. Yeah. And what were you asking them? I know the sound that you made, but what were you asking?
I believe what I said is I'm going to go ask them what's up. I think more precisely, I am like, hello, crab friends. How's your city?
And they don't speak in quite as many sentences, but they say, be careful, guardian, guardian, be careful, guardian, guardian.
Yeah. The bats told me to be careful also. Where is the guardian?
Island, island, island.
There's a guardian on the island, y'all.
Okay.
I asked the crabs, does it have any secret weaknesses that you can tell me right now so we can speed run this boss fight?
Huh?
What is a boss fight?
Huh?
I pick up one of the crabs. Is they're glowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of chuck it at the pyramid.
Wow.
And I say whoopee in crab language as I do.
And it splats, and you hear this click, 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 and from the pyramid, you hear this, like, so you hear the clacking, and the pyramid itself splits open, and this gigantic, not gigantic, but this 8-foot long bronze crocodile
Oh, Jesus Christ.
crawls out.
We're fucked.
I found the guardian, y'all.
And swings its tail, and it scatters a bunch more, and like splatters a bunch more of those crabs, and then it begins to make its way towards you. So help me out here, Kirby. How do we do initiative?
There is no initiative. Just turn
Okay.
order, pick a turn
Just-
order, and we just go.
Okay.
Roll. Yeah.
I'm just
You
gonna
got
hurry
it.
to the bathroom before the fight starts.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'm
sure,
also,
yeah, you got it. Cool. I like how you attempted, Tony, to circumvent the boss fight. You know better.
I was pretty sure there's a boss fight in here. I wasn't sure though.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Kirby's game while they're not here. They'll never find out what we said.
Cool. I'm enjoying it so far. Like we discussed earlier, was just some clarification with how the wordings and probably some setting of difficulties and stuff like that for specific tasks.
And FYI for anybody who's watching right now, because we are still live, we are playing the beta version that is still being updated.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, the gear load stuff does actually work really well, and I imagine the later in the dungeon we get, the more interesting that will become.
I specifically took initiative out of this game to not break up segments between roleplay and combat, and then we all went to the bathroom.
the true thing that breaks up roleplay and combat.
Yeah, pissing.
Going to the restroom. Somebody clip that for me, and if you're in the Discord, drop that in the P channel.
They know exactly where that goes. I was not going to say it, but someone does.
Yeah. So it's out. It comes out of the thing. Does it crush the city on its way out?
The pyramid, it's fine, but yeah, part of the bottled city of Kandor is getting wrecked and getting crushed as it's making its way towards you. So it stands up on its hind legs and
excellent
blows this cone of blue fire just straight out.
Oh,
so
no,
I guess
not the blue fire.
So I guess who was
well, I'm in front,
right?
Definitely going to be trying to protect the party, but also I don't want to get hit by this thing, so I'm gonna. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take the hit. I'm gonna take the hit from it and try and close the gap after the fire dissipates.
Well, it's not dissipating. It's like,
Oh, it's just like a constant.
yeah.
Oh fuck. Okay, I'm jumping out.
You
of the
know
way.
how like you know how Mechagodzilla just
Yeah.
once Mechagodzilla starts, ain't no stop until Mechagodzilla runs out of juice.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you could see the imaginary battery pack on this giant automaton bronze crocodile, that it's got plenty of battery. So it's essentially engaged with blowing it. I mean, it's where it's wisping around the edges of your shield. It's getting hot. It's getting really hot.
Mhm.
But you and everybody else, I guess, if everyone was like in a single file behind you, is pretty much protected from it right now.
Okay.
So,
Kirby, let's talk a little bit about magics.
Sure.
Do I need to have found a spell book, or if I have the mind space, I can just kind of freestyle?
As long as you have a trinket and you have the mind space to freestyle magic, you can cast magic. But you have to have a trinket in order to cast.
I
magic.
do have a trinket.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
that's why I have a weird stone I found in the cornfield.
Hell yeah. You from Kansas?
You know,
Oh, that
it
corn
is
stuff.
green. We did find the bottle city of Candor. And this thing is made out of bronze.
it is. It is.
Interesting.
Cool.
And it's not doing any damage to my shield, or is it doing damage to my shield?
It's not damaging your shield. It's just making things hot around you.
Okay.
Which is great.
That's
Around the
good.
'Cause
edges.
it lets Snack come out a little bit from wherever he had scurried off to for warmth. And so,
It's true.
I think we got to get, if we're not getting too overheated, we should try to move closer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Spartan style. March
Yeah.
forward while we got the shield turtle,
Yeah.
whatever.
It is getting hotter the closer you get. How close up do you want to close the gap here?
Well, was it still on the island?
It is on the island, yeah.
I think what I'm gonna say is break off to the two behind me, and I'll try and keep the flames on me, and you two can kind of.
If we can get to like the edge of the water, then that should give us also the ability to go down underneath if flames start to.
Yeah. But I'm hoping he'll just keep aiming at me, and then y'all can circle around and hit him in his bright red, glowing, blinking red spot. You know.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Usually has one, and as luck would have it.com, it does.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna, we see Snack run down my leg, so we all know in Meteor as that he is safe from whatever shenanigans I'm about to get up to. As we try to break off near the water's edge and get out into the cold, I'm assuming even colder water.
It is.
Around this thing. So yeah, I'll break off into the water.
I'll break off the other way.
Okay. Let's have you two check agility real quick.
That's my good one. That's a 3, baby.
Cool. Awesome.
It's ridiculous. A 5.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So the automaton bronze crocodile is just solely focused on Calliope with the statue. So are you maintaining that position, Calliope?
Yeah, I'll probably inch forward slowly, but just to try and keep its attention, but I'm not gonna move quick or anything.
Right. And what about Bones? And what about Thrag?
Well, I try to dash up so I end up like alongside it, and just try to check for any chinks in the armor, so to speak.
Sure. And you were the child of a weaponsmith, so you know how this goes. Like I know specifically in guild rules is written it's weapon or armor smith, but I'm gonna let it roll this time. So yes, you see a spot like right into one of its two blinking red "Do not press me or I might power down" spots.
All right. All right, I want to try to hit it right there with my dirty sock full of gravel and sand.
You should throw some of them coins in there too for a little extra weight.
Yeah. I only have the bat coin. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm keeping
Alright.
that one.
So when we do attack rolls, it's d20 plus the relevant aptitude from the player character and
Yeah.
from the guild person, and then a d20 plus the attack modifier. Since this is an old, since this is a DCC, I'm going to go ahead and just use the attack modifier that's in there,
Nice.
which is
Well-
a +2. So that's a 7 for the crocodile.
Yeah, and I just rolled a natural 1.
Fuck you.
But I don't think that
One
does
baby.
anything special in these rules, right?
Not as of now, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling
Yeah.
like maybe I should throw something in there.
I'm feeling like crits might be back in.
Maybe I'm gonna throw a critical table in this book for fun.
So yeah, absolutely, 1000% narrate. Tell me what happens, Marcus.
Like it only does 1 damage, but I'm thinking like it really gets in there somehow, and
It's the
since
classic
you-
pop.
What?
Is it just the classic pop? Like you stab it in, and rather than it being anything major, you just hear like whir, 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 and then like a pop with a little poof of smoke comes out the top.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The
Yeah.
sock breaks, and all this gravel and dirt and stuff just fucks it up from the inside.
All through all the clockwork, and you hear the intensity of that blue flame that blast that's hitting you, Calliope. It starts to falter a little bit. Bones, you see sprockets and springs are going everywhere. Smoke's starting to whirl up out of this thing, and its left side, its left arm and leg, it's you got it pretty well winded. Thrag, what would you like to do?
I didn't close the distance at all. So I'm just gonna cheer from it, like 30 feet away in the depths of the water. I'm like, good job, do it again.
Okay.
I want to climb up on and stand on top of it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. It's solely focused on blasting out this flame, and you could get closer to it, and you're on top of it, and you could start seeing where the other bits and pieces, where the other reset button is. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I want a trophy. I want to try to pry something loose from like a cogwheel or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Any number of cogwheels. There's actually a little brass door with some sort of script, some words you can't quite understand, but it could be the serial number type sort of thing. We would know it as a serial number. So
Actually, I want to like find a lever or something that could be used as a weapon, since my sock is all broken.
well, there is that lever that's on the that's attached to the pyramid. And it's on the island.
Mhm.
But you're talking about a lever like on the automaton
Just
itself.
something that might be used as a weapon from inside this crocodile.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You find it.
Cool. Then I have a coin flip chance, since I'm the child of a weaponsmith.
Since you're the child of a weaponsmith, what happens?
Might impact the rating of this weapon. I'm guessing, Kirby.
Yeah, let me see what you got here. For the Smith, yes, the coin flip chance will increase the weapons rating or armor's rating by 1d4. So, or the weapons damage or the armor's rating by 1d4.
Mhm.
So, and you loot a weapon, whatever the damage is, you 50% chance you have an extra 1d4 on top of that.
Okay. So I do have an extra 2 damage.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Which is enough. I'm taking you're gonna take a swing at this thing, probably like try to clang it till it shuts up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And you hit it, and it's just boom, even more steam, even more sprockets, stuff flying here and there. Cheerleader, check agility. Because one of these pieces, I gotta try to kill it. I gotta try to kill it.
One of them Sprocky is gonna try to come at me.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a dirty 1.
Oh my god!
And it goes right by your head, and it makes just a little bit of a. You gotta.
That scar's gonna look cool
slash.
as shit later.
When you're a guild champion, you're gonna look back on this day. Yeah.
People will be like, "Where'd you get that scar?" I'll be like, "It's from the time that we slew a bronze alligator."
Operative word.
Yeah.
We.
Teamwork.
And it pew, 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 pew. And it stops moving, and that little door, that little plate that had the serial number on it, pops out, and this wisp of blue smoke comes up out of the top, and it expands and turns into a fully formed humanoid femme presenting Jin, like Genie, like is right there, and she looks at you like with these piercing silver eyes and blue skin, and she says, "Thank you for releasing me from my prison." And then she stops with all then she stops with all formality. She's like, "My name's Hara, and I can tell you more, but I was locked in here by insert evil sorcerer's name, probably Sezrakan, because he kind of does that. He's a bit of a dick. Yeah. So she would be your pal, she would be your friend. So, and then we'll just close there. We won D&D.
We won.
We won D&D.
Yeah, actually, secret release. This was actually the new D&D 1 rules the entire time.
Actually. Yeah, for sure.
And so, well, that sounds like a good place for a reaction roll. Reaction roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game that we just played and talk to them about that game today. We are playing Guild Swords and Magic for Hire by Disaster Tourism, our good friend Kirby Franklin, who joined us in the depths of the Well of Souls as run by Jarrett Crater. That's, I've heard a lot of lethality in this dungeon. We just speed ran that beast.
Cruised it, baby.
There were 3-4 other rooms that you went the opposite direction, because there is the secret south way to get back there,
like the very obvious way forward versus the if you just look around a little bit, you can walk up behind things. I love it. No, I had a blast. Kirby, tell us a little bit about Guild and why you made this this homage to all the favorite things that you want in a RPG.
Yeah, so this kind of started out as my weird game that I launched on with Exalted Funeral this past summer, which is little 3.5 page OSR, maybe. Super light game. And that concept started with me trying to figure out how I could write an RPG system, fantasy sword and sorcery system that prioritized like the weight that your character is with the gear that they're carrying versus their skill in what they're doing. And so Guild kind of evolved out of that. It became like the full formed version of that, I guess. But it is kind of an homage to my love/hate for super crunchy games like RuneQuest. I really like RuneQuest, but it's extremely difficult to play because it's just so mind-bending. But I love games where things that you have on you actually affect your ability to contribute. So that's kind of where I came up with this aptitude system for Guild, where you calculate the weight of your gear versus your skill, and that is your modifier to roll
your D20. But yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
Sounds interesting. I had a good time playing. Let's find out about what some of our other players thought. Marcus, as a designer of rules lights games, I'd love to hear who you are, what you do, but also what was it like to play Guild?
Okay, yeah, Marcus. I, with the help of Tony, we're about to release Down We Go, another OSR-ish game. I love this game. I had a blast. I love Guild. I love two things in particular. Like this thing. When I read the game, like it was very obvious what you were trying to do with the load, the weight of the items, and I really love that. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a game before, where what you decide to pick up and carry around affects what you can do. Love that. I also love the theme of this guild thing, like where you actually level up. You level up within the guild that exists in the world. I love that. Yeah, this is. I haven't backed it yet, but I'm about to. I'm gonna do my part.
Thank you.
And
Love that.
It's a really cool game, and I
Thank you.
love the rules light. That's my thing. That's my jam completely. Yeah, it's a great game. I had a great time.
Pardon me. Awesome. Do you have any questions you want to ask Kirby?
When can I have it to start playing it with my friends?
Well, I mean, you did kind of get a free copy, but well,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, yeah. No, you could. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll be printed early January. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. You know, it's pretty much done at this point. It's going to go through several more layout, not full layout adjustments, but you know, I'm going through it with Kristen almost every day. Kristen is my partner who does all the layout and stuff. And we're going through it like almost every day, just reworking things, and I'm doing little minor rewrites here and there. So it's going to go through several more edits and stuff, but it hopefully, and for the most part, it's finished. So, you know, the Kickstarter is not done, but the book is finished. I do want to say, I did forget one thing. The image that we used for the graphics for Tony, and some of the art in the book is from Kim Diaz-Holm. He is credited in the book, but I did not credit him for his art in the graphic, and I just wanted to make sure I did credit him on stream, because all of his art is free use, and he's absolutely fantastic artist. So I just want to make sure I actually credited him on stream for the graphic art.
Absolutely. We love a good credit. I want to know, I had a great time. We're going to hear from Jarrett in a second about what it was like to run it. I had a great time. I really enjoyed it. I liked some of the thematic pieces. When we got into it, everything made sense reading through it. Like there's some like, how is this going to work in play? How do some of these different pieces hit once it all got to the play state, though, it was all really, really clear. And I really enjoyed it. I had something more to say with that, but my question specifically is, Jarrett didn't manage to do anything to hurt any of us because we are the best at RPGs.
Facts.
It's true.
But I don't see, there's no HP mechanics. So there's damage, there's armor. It's like you get hit, you die. What happens?
Yes, so the armor, that's another thing that I really wanted to test. It was kind of a thing I was really interested in, because that's also kind of inspired from RuneQuest. Is if you get hit by a weapon in RuneQuest, you're fucked. So armor is incredibly important. And even if you have armor on, you can often take severe injuries even through your armor. So that was something else I kind of carried over into this rules light system, where I turned armor into your health. And your armor has a rating, and the rating is essentially how many hits your armor can take in points before it breaks. You have to repair your armor. So, however, on I ran a game at PAX the other night, and one of the players very smartly used the service magic spell to do create or repair armor as a spell, and their potency was 1, so they could repair 1 point of armor rating per cast of the spell, which I thought was really clever. But yeah, if you the armor rating is basically your health, and then if your armor breaks, you have to repair it. It costs gold to repair it. And if you get hit through your armor, there's a 1 in 6, but I may add a few more just for fun. Probably bump that up to an 8 chance that you could die instantly. There's some other things. I've got a concussion, injury for a week, losing a limb or an extremity or an eye, things like that. I was a little bit inspired for that part from what is it? Sailors of the Starless Sea?
Sailors on the Starless Sea?
Yeah, where there's I forget what the thing is, but somebody you lose how many which hand do you lose? I think is the thing. There's like an option. You don't get to decide if you lost a hand, but which one you lose. I was listening to Nora talk about that on Adventure Tourism with Chris Bissett one time, and I was really inspired by that idea that a low-level character has something to look back on when they are like much higher level. Like, oh, how did you lose your eye? Oh, it was when I was a level 0 hireling doing this dungeon and I had no armor left. So that's something I really wanted to put in here too. So that's but yeah, armor is super important.
In a default, you have basically 1 or 2 hit points then as a starting character, right?
Essentially, yeah. It's not calculated that way, but you basically, if you get hit, you're pretty close to being.
So that gear should have just sheared my head off when it cut my cheek.
It probably would have, yeah.
No, I like I said, it was super interesting. It was just the part that I didn't explicitly like jump out at me in my first read through the rules. So I wanted to ask, but I love the open magic. I think Meat Castle says it well. I like how it's as much a framework as a system as a person who likes making my own worlds. The intentionally generic system for the equipment and spells makes people putting my table's flavor on top of the system easy. Jarrett, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what it was like to run Guild.
Well, I am secretly the Browns automaton. Yep. I was guarding this. Oh wait, I'm Jarrett. I help make games, get games pretty soon. Probably end of January, February. More announcements coming on an episode of Penguin Party sometime in the future. Yeah. My partner and I starting a publishing company called Space Penguin Inc. And I just got back from PAX and volunteered to run this. At first this morning, I was like, the derived stats, it just throws me. I'm a simple, like, I'm gonna roll under stats. But I do see how it does. I do see how it works now. The editor brains like, Curbs, you gotta put the load part at the beginning because it is the most important part of the thing.
Yeah, it is.
It is like that, and it's what Marcus commented on was like using that as essentially your resource. That's your hit points. If you get hit, you die. But your main resource in this whole thing is your ability to manage your load. So I'd say about the only thing I would adjust. I might go back to adjusting your difficulty levels like you had them earlier in the previous draft. Make it harder. Make it harder to succeed. Yeah. I think it worked. I think it worked really well for this playtest. And we hit on the combat. We hit on the opposed rolls. Hit a tiny bit. Tony, discuss what might happen with Magick. I'd be interested to if you do another one of these, if you do another round on stream, I'd love to play as a caster type or as a caster focused person because I love playing wizards. It's just what I like to do, and I'd like to see how the Magick itself worked out. It seems to me as in a good way a bit of a puzzle to figure out what you actually want. You said your player in your previous game really enjoyed or really did a great job with being able to repair the armor.
Yeah.
With a spell. So that's super quality. And I threw you all into an existing adventure for another system. I think it meshed pretty well. The attack bonus from DCC rolled in pretty well, which means like most 3.5 all the way to the past attack bonuses will be pretty relevant. You can probably tweak 5 and other stuff for it. yeah, I don't. Yeah, but the only thing I would say would be give us those adventures, and I know that Meatcast is working on one, and you have a slew of other folks
Really
in the
folks.
process of creating those. So
I've got a lot of stuff in the works for this too. So
yeah.
like I that was something that Christian had mentioned, having it being a framework. It's not just a framework for other people, it's also a framework for me, because I want to build on this game for a long time. So I want to release adventures for it regularly. I want to put out a book of Magick that I make based on the system that I've released. I want a book of armor, a book of weapons, a book of trinkets, monsters, all kinds of stuff like that. I want to release all that stuff. So
I think my other favorite thing, and I'd love to hear more about this, because I think there's a lot of just really interesting space here. So there's a system, it's kind of the traditional stuff we expect in kind of the OSR genre. We've covered some of that, layered with the inventory system and the way that your gear load impacts everything, which I think is a super sharp take on it. The closest thing is like maze rats-ish type stuff, but that's more about how you slot things and less about how that impacts your rolls and this kind of push your luck capacity that you've done. But you've got actual guild stuff layered over the top of this, right? And I love that. It's one of my favorite things about the write-up as it is right now. Also too is just like you're standing in the guild, right? Like, so we go out as hirelings, we eventually become apprentices, then journeyer, then expert, then potentially champions if we survive that long. You've got some suggested like jobs and bounties and other stuff like that. How do you move up in the guild, right? And then what does it look like? Like how are some of the guild-ish aspects brought to the forefront in the way that you've got it established?
Sure. So I've got somewhat of a diegetic leveling system in this game. It's just progression through ranks in a guild. So you start as a hireling. I'm kind of reworking how the hireling stuff works just a tad, because I really love funnels. So I think I may actually kind of turn it more into what we did today with Jarrett running a level 0 adventure kind of thing. But if you survive the hireling adventure introductory to the thing, you're basically granted access to become an apprentice with a dues payment of 5 gold. So you pay 5 gold to the guild and you get access to being an apprentice, which means you can hire or rent pack animals from the guild, or you can buy them if you can afford them, but they're pretty expensive. And then as you level up, you can level up to journeyer, which is 25 gold. And at that, you get an increase in your total load carry. You can increase your skills, and then you can also access guild. As you get higher, you can access like guild trainers, which will let you increase the strength of your weapons and your armor. It's very kind of, I don't know, almost video gamey a little bit. I don't love doing that kind of thing, but I felt like it worked.
I'll be honest, it's something like I'm the character who always has like, I mean, it is not uncommon in any sort of long campaign that I've played for my character to start immediately trying to reinvest the wealth that I gather into other things, and very few systems engage in once you have this much gold, you can do the thing. Or if they do, it's in very abstracted ways, right? So I love that there is a diegetic reality that's already built into, here's how you kind of soak gold out. Here's what gold is. Gold is kind of XP, right? So if you can do things that
very much.
Or like for me, because like, I mean, I definitely had a character at one point in time who was an alchemist, but also captured a bunch of weird bat creatures and started a wing shop by buying a piece of property and hiring people to run it for them with an addictive sauce on the outside of it too. So like, I mean, like I'm 100% the kind of person who loves systems that will let you just start doing weird stuff like that within the conceit of, that's not only like viable, it's like, yeah, that's something you could totally be encouraged to do stuff like that. Do you have any thoughts for the guild itself growing? I think it's my last question because we got to pop off pretty shortly. Do you have any thoughts for the guild itself growing in renown or importance?
I hadn't really, to be honest, I hadn't really considered that aspect because I wanted the setting to be as vague as possible.
Yeah.
To be honest, looking at this, I was actually talking to Stella the other day in one of our Discords, and I was like, she had mentioned something about a sci-fi hack of this, and I was like, I already thought about that because of how kind of vague everything is, minus the setting. You really could just skin a sci-fi game on top of this. But So I don't think I would really want to add more details necessarily to it, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm open to that.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be heavy. I was just curious because I do always love, like, if you're doing a guild, how good is your guild? What kind of reputation does your guild have? Like, those kind of things. Done in a very light, like 1-page or 2-page spread, I think would be a fun addition. And I also don't think that would pull you out of that ability to easily reskin things. Because theoretically, if you're getting hired, and it's a world with a lot of different ones. But I also kind of like the non-diegetic ability to compare guilds across games.
Yeah.
As a fun thing also too. Like, what is your guild?
Yeah.
How do guilds interact with each other between systems? Like, some of that's just very meta stuff. It doesn't need to be in the core or whatever, but it's all very fun stuff that I can see playing guild and people not just talking about their characters, but talking about their actual guild stuff too. And so
that is a great idea, and I actually fucking love that.
Well, that's what I do. Good luck.
Yeah. God damn it! I got to rewrite the entire history for this 2-paragraph thing I wrote.
Yeah. Oh man, we're all coughing, we're all sneezing. Yeah. We all got good stuff going on. So Kickstarter's up right now. You can go TTRPG.link/guild/K. TTRPG.link/GuildKs. How much longer are you running for? It's a short campaign, correct?
Yeah, we got another 10 days on it. I decided to drag it out a little longer than I wanted to, but I'm glad I am doing that because it's slow going, but it's going. We are already funded, but we are like almost 3/4 of the way to the stretch goal, and I really want the stretch goal. Really, everyone else wants the stretch goal. So if you want to get a free adventure book from all these amazing people included in your purchase of the campaign stuff, please share the campaign with all of your friends. Please.
Love it. We took a lot of the last month off. The first part of this week, we were also at PAX Unplugged this last weekend. And so, but also anybody watching me cough or sneeze or anything like that started afterward. And I have taken numerous clean COVID tests since I arrived at home. Good. So, excellent. But it was good to see Kirby in person. It was good to see Jared in person. Marcus come to PAX next year, or we'll just all come to CryptCon, one of the two.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And so, super great to play with all of y'all. We don't have any planned streams over the next couple of weeks. However, some things we know will be happening later on this month. We're going to play some Santicide Squad, our Suicide Squad meets Christmas Claymation classic. We'll have a couple of episodes of that up at Honey Heist Hack. You can go check that out over on our itch page. We also recorded 8 different games or interviews at PAX that we will be releasing over the next couple of weeks. Also, Keegan, Sarah, and the Cult were great at running that all throughout the course of it. And we are going to have a PAX sale for anybody who wasn't able to make it in person. We will have a 1-day sale coming up in a couple of weeks where anything we had in the booth will be available through our website for a day or two. So, Jarrett?
When you say anything, do you mean Sherwood?
I don't know if I'll see if I can get more copies of Sherwood to put in there, because that was not the most popular game of the weekend, but it was the surprise runaway hit that everybody fell in love with.
Where might I find that?
You can get a Spearwitch. Oh my gosh, I can't even say. I'm allergic to the name Spearwitch.
I got you. Spearwitch.com.
I'm allergic to Jared.
I'm allergic to Jared Sinclair.
Which I need to do right now so they don't sell out. So, yeah, I was so mad. They were gone, but it's fine.
Yeah, we will have more copies of that available shortly because we are going to become completionist for all of Richard's stuff. But yeah, very excited about that. Make sure you go and back the game. We've also got some cool stuff coming up in the new year that we are very, very excited to share with you all. Some major projects, some other big things. Look for a end of 2022 video and a beginning of 2023 video that kind of lays out some of those plans. Plus One is growing a whole lot over the course of the last little bit. But if there's anything we can do to help serve you or our community better, we're always interested in any input you have. Kirby, thanks so much for coming to play with us. Marcus, Jarrett.
Yes, thank you so much.
Great, as always. And we've never figured out a good way to close these streams. So until next time, we're just going to wave at the screen until I take us off air. Bye.